What's going on, guys? It's Jesse at Humble Auto Spa, and today we've got an awesome project. This is a 2023 Porsche Taycan that is getting full body matte paint protection film. Paint protection film, normally it's just the clear stuff that protects from rocks, scratches, swirl marks, things of that nature, but sometimes you can really spice it up. Our client today is going full body matte, so it turns it from a gloss finish to a nice matte / satin finish. We're going to show you front to back the type of work that goes in to transform this Porsche Taycan. The Porsche Taycan introduces Porsche's entry into the electric car market. So this vehicle is their first electric car. It's shared platforms with the Audi e-tron GT. And what's really cool is that this particular model inspired the next generations of the Porsche Cayenne and Macan EV. So if you look at the front of those vehicles, they look very similar to this Taycan. So our client today is going to be doing full body matte PPF because she wants to not only give this car full protection from things like rock chips, scratches, swirl marks, and door dings, but she wanted to give it a truly unique finish. Porsche doesn't make a lot of matte finishes, so if you want to get matte, this is one of the few ways you can get it done. And so there's already a little bit of old PPF on this car. She did buy the car pre-owned, and so if you look, there's a couple pieces of PPF, primarily on the stone guards that we have to safely remove with the steamer. We're going to remove that PPF, we're going to prep the paint, and then we're going to lay that matte paint protection film. So with any service here at Humble Auto Spa, it starts with a great 3-bucket wash. That's 2 buckets for paint, 1 bucket for wheels. If you guys have been following me, you know that this wash is the best way to safely wash your car without scratching the paint. Now, this is where it's really important because this is a 2023. It's already got a couple years on it, a couple miles on it as well. It's really important that this is a decontamination wash, not just a regular prep wash. So decontamination washes will have us not only clean all of the paint, we're going to open up the hood, clean all the crevices with the brush as well. We got to make sure all of the dirt and grime is out from there. Since we're doing paint protection foam everywhere, it is very important that we get all of that grime out. So we're going to go through all of the crevices, clean it with a brush. Then we're going to do the decontamination itself. So that involves us doing a clay bar to pull out embedded contaminants that are stuck in the paint that don't come out with the wash. And we're going to be doing what's called a chemical decontamination, which pulls out things like sap, bug guts, iron deposits that are stuck in the paint, and tree sap. So all of those things have to be dissolved with specialty chemicals in order to get this paint minty clean before we lay. On top of the prep, another part of our prep process is disassembly. Now, because we are doing full body matte PPF, it's important that we do it the bespoke way. Bespoke PPF has us tuck edges around things like weather guard trims, underneath badges, underneath taillights. It is a very precise and sharp installation. Because we're doing full body matte, we don't want any exposed edges, which would lead to a gloss edge, right? We can't have that. We're trying to give it a matte look. It would break the illusion if you had gloss pieces hanging out everywhere. So by taking apart all of the trim pieces and the badges and whatnot, we're able to tuck the film, getting it in one clean piece, and we cannot see any of that gloss poking through once we're done. With the emblems, we remove it with a little fishing string, so you can see us kind of like sawing it with a fishing string. That's kind of difficult. Moving on to the taillights, we have to access the screw in the back, so we have to unscrew it, kind of disassemble the wires, and then gently pull it off so that we don't scratch paint. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's not too bad. Removing the taillight just allows us to tuck that film a little bit cleaner, and that's that last 10% that we're chasing here today. Moving on to the mirrors. Now this part is a little bit more tedious. We have to remove the door card from the inside so that we can access the screw that unscrews the mirrors themselves, at the mirror housing. So in doing so, we can remove that mirror and lay the PPF in one big clean sheet. This is really important so that we don't have a seam where that mirror would be, right? Normally you can't lay one piece of film around that. You'd have to do a little cutout, but because we've taken the mirror out, we can lay it in one piece, which means no seam. Removing that weather trim is not only really great because we can tuck the film there, but it's also important because we can clean those areas too. Without removing that trim, there's a lot of dirt and dust and debris that get trapped under there over time, especially since this is a used car. So by removing the trim, we can clean all of the contaminants in that area, which means that we're not going to have little contaminants or pieces of dirt and grime that get trapped under the film on the doors. Moving on to the PPF, we're finally going to start trimming some of this PPF, right? So we're actually using Core software today. Now you might be thinking, Jesse, why would you use core software to cut out patterns when you could just bulk PPF it? Well, what's really great about using a pattern is that it is very accurate. If you look at the patterns, we actually extend the edges quite a bit so that we can tuck on everywhere that we've extended it to. So for example, on the mirrors, on the door sills, panels like that, we can extend it so that we can tuck the film there. But in doing so, we get a very clean installation of the film. We don't waste film as well. This maximizes the sheet of film so that it's cheaper for you guys to buy. And at the end of the day, it is a sharper, more precise installation of the film. With all of the PPF plotted out and cut, now it's time to lay that paint protection film onto the car. We're going to take it panel by panel and we'll show you kind of the steps for each individual piece so that you can see how much work goes turning this car from gloss to matte. And with that, that is how we do full body paint protection film on this Porsche Taycan. Because we've removed so much of that trim, we've removed a lot of the badges and the emblems and whatnot, we're able to get a clean tuck of the PPF on this matte vehicle. You can see that you don't have a bunch of white poking through. It is just a nice, uniform, and seamless finish, right? In doing so, yeah, where it does take a lot more labor, but the end result is totally worth the extra effort. Take a look at some of this B-roll. You can see that up close, this really looks like it came from the factory matte. The best part is that it is going to provide full physical durability for our client driving her car every day, but it's going to give her that look that she's been looking for. So if you've got a cool car and you want to turn it from gloss to matte, you want to give it something unique, but you also want to protect that car too, this is probably going to be the package for you. Full body paint protection film packages like this start at $5,500. It is backed under a 10-year warranty as well. So that means for a decade, if that film lifts, if it cracks, or if it bubbles up or turns yellow, we replace that PPF for free. So what are you waiting for? Treat your car to the best, give it something unique, and bring it to the pros. It's Jesse at Humble Auto Spa, signing out.